Take 5 with RicoVibes, the ultimate in entertainment. Live interviews, social commentary, and so much more. Go tell somebody you're now locked into Take 5 with RicoVibes. This episode of Take 5 with RicoVibes is brought to you by
It's a reggae evening under the sun. The Forever Giving Thanks 2024 tour at the beautiful Chastain Park Amphitheater, featuring Perez Hammond.
Used to make you rock away.
Plus the Reggae Ambassadors, Third World. Also featuring DJ Mix Master David. Bring your food and drinks for a reggae evening under the sun. Sunday, August 18th at 6:30. Another Sassy Mitchell here and Twilight 2 production.
What's up, everybody? It's yours truly, RicoVibes, and welcome to another edition of Take 5. I got a special guest. Matter of fact, this guest was my first guest when I started this podcast, like 4 or 5 years ago.
I didn't even know that until you told me. That's crazy, man.
What's up, DJ KASH?
What's going on, Rico?
Welcome
man.
to the show.
Always
man.
a pleasure, bro. Always a pleasure.
Man.
Natural vibes. Always a pleasure.
Yeah, from New York.
From New York.
From New York to ATL.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro.
No, it's been 5 years, man, since we spoke on this forum.
That's insane.
What
man.
have you been doing, man? I've been following you, so I know what you've been doing. But you tell me,
Man, a lot, man.
Mm-hmm.
I just, I decided about 2.5 years ago to switch up, kind of switch gears and go a different route, genre-wise. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So if you don't see me in the dance hall as much, it's because I switched up. You know what I mean? So I just been focusing on that, dropping music, producing, and just
traveling too.
Traveling a lot. Yeah. This week
yeah.
alone, I got Qatar, I got Dubai, probably gonna do Bahrain. I got an offer for Australia while I'm out there. So,
golly.
Yeah, man, moving around.
Wow. So what made you decide to switch up though?
Woo! I don't know if we got enough time. I don't know if we got enough time.
You know, when you start off in this the reggae scene, so to speak,
right,
and you decide to switch, people always got this thing. Oh, he sell out. He going uptown.
Yeah.
I want to hear it from your standpoint.
Well, I mean, I think in my career, if you really watch my career, I've switched a bunch of times.
Yes, you have.
So I've started off on the dancehall scene and kind of went to the more hip hop scene, then kind of came back to the. So I was always been the guy that has one foot in, one foot out. So because coming from New York, you got to know how to juggle everything.
True.
So I just use that to my advantage when I moved to Atlanta.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But yeah, so I kind of don't care what people say. I've always been that kind of guy anyway. Right. So I got into this to do what I love, and then so I just always just follow. And it's not a gimmick for me. I just always just follow
where it takes you.
Yeah,
gotcha.
I follow my heart. It sounds corny, but it's the truth.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
So you're now doing a Tuesday. I'm a piano Tuesday.
Yeah,
every Tuesday.
Yeah,
and it's been 2 years.
About 2.5, going on 2.5. Yeah.
Yep. And I see you have like Tiana Taylor and all kinds of different celebrities pass through, man.
It's amazing because, like, to answer your question though, like, I switched to this style because, like, during the pandemic, I took off. Like, even though Atlanta was open, I took off. You know what I mean? I just had kids in 2019, like that. So like, I didn't. We all didn't know what this was when it was happening. You know what I mean? So I didn't want to bring that in my house. So I took off the whole year. I didn't play no parties. I took off the entire year.
Wow, you can afford to do that? I'm not getting into your finances.
I can though.
I'm not getting into your finances, but
I can.
Most of us couldn't afford to do that.
Nah, yeah, I was definitely able to do that.
Gotcha.
So I took off, and I still worked a little bit. I'm still on radio.
Right.
I'm still doing radio from home, doing mixes from home. But as far as parties, I didn't do any parties for a whole year. But that whole year, because I found out about I'm a Piano in 2019. So 2019, I was in Qatar doing New Year's Eve. I had two. I got booked by the government. The government paid me to DJ on a base. Wow. On the biggest Air Force
the U.S.
base.
government.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's crazy too. Like, they book you like 3 months in advance because it takes that long for you to get security clearance to go on the base, and you can't be by yourself. Like, you have an escort the whole time. It's insane. So I left there. I literally did that gig and then went to do a gig that same night. Like, literally drove, did a gig at this club, did the countdown and all that. So when I came back, that's the trip that I found out about I'm a Piano at. So when I came back, that's all I was playing. When the pandemic hit, I was at home just listening. And I made that decision then, right? And it just felt good. It felt so much fun. I just loved it. Wow. And I felt like the way dance hall and hip hop was going, it wasn't fun to me anymore.
Gotcha.
Those parties weren't exciting anymore.
Right.
So I was like, when I get back, when things open up, I'm gonna go this route because this makes me feel good. You know what I mean?
And the funny thing is, because he really wasn't as big as it is now then.
Yeah.
It was just
So
really
I jumped
catching
out the
on.
window
Then. So
with
you
it.
jumped out the window with it.
Yeah, like I don't care if people don't give me my credit. I'm gonna give me my credit. Like I am kind of single-handedly for Atlanta. I'm single-handedly responsible for Atlanta being ground zero for I'm a Piano in America.
You're right.
Because when I started it, people didn't even know what it was.
They didn't know what it was. It was literally just catching on.
Yeah,
literally.
If that, and it was just catching on in South Africa.
Wow.
So it wasn't even catching on everywhere else. So when I literally was inviting people, people were like, "What is that? Like, what's I'm a Piano? Like, I never heard of that."
Yeah.
But they would come and they would be hooked, just like I was. You know what I mean? So
talk about the radio. You were on V103 when we spoke last. You're now not on V103 no more. What are you doing now in terms of radio?
I'm on there. It's just that
okay.
I'm one of those believers that believe radio is dead.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I still do radio only because I like radio. You know what I mean? Growing up in New York, you listen to Hot 97 and you know,
Kiss, all that.
Yeah, you know, Kiss 104, all that stuff.
LIB.
You know what I mean? So you know, radio was like king, you know, growing up.
True.
So I just still do it only because, you know, because of my childhood and it's nostalgic for me. But I don't put as much emphasis as I used to career wise, because to me I feel like radio is dead. You know what I mean?
Coming from you, that's big.
Yeah, I feel like in the space I'm in right now, radio hinders, it hurts me more than it helps me.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
If I were to commit to it like I used to, it would hurt me way more than it would help me.
Wow.
Yeah.
What do you? I mean, you've been in the reggae scene damn near 20 years in Atlanta.
Yeah, about 20 years.
What do you think of it now, though?
I mean, woo, I'm gonna sound all right, I'm gonna keep it real. I think reggae on a whole is just in a transition stage.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So I think not just the scene in Atlanta, I think reggae
Worldwide.
it's just in a transition phase. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think when that transition phase is over, I don't know what'll come out of it, but things will get better, I think. And I think things need to get better. But I think a lot of things need to change on the reggae
It
scene.
does. Yeah, right.
What do you think needs to change?
What do I think? You're right. A lot of things need to change. The artist them needs to be to look at it differently. In terms of dancehall / trap, it's a fine line. I don't want to get myself in trouble here.
You OG, you foundation, you OG. So you know.
But they still would beat me bad. So I'm gonna keep it safe. I'm not a fan of the way the direction dancehall is going.
Right.
I'm not a fan of that. But again, this is when I was little. That's what I was saying when they were changing it then.
Right.
So I understand the young folks nowadays. They have a vision of where they want it to go.
Right.
I'm not a fan of it. Not all of it.
You see, this is my thing, right? As an outsider looking in, right? As an outsider looking in, outsider meaning like a non-Jamaican, right? But at the same time, please, I believe, a lot of people disagree with me with this, but I believe black culture anywhere is my culture. That's
correct.
That's just what I believe.
Correct.
If you black and there's anywhere in the world, that's my culture. That's just what I believe. But as a non-Jamaican, out from the outside looking in, like I would say this. I would say there's no other culture in the last 30 years that has influenced the world more than Jamaica.
That is true.
There's no other culture. When you're talking fashion, when you're talking music, when you're talking lingo, no other country, hands down.
You're right.
The close second is Black Americans with the exportation of hip hop and our culture, but Jamaicans surpass that. Almost lapse it.
I don't think Jamaicans on a whole realize that,
and that's my point.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's my point.
Yeah.
That's why I feel like Jamaican music is in this weird funk. You see what I'm saying? Because it sounds weird to say this, but it's almost like from my observation, it's almost like everybody wants to be Jamaican, but Jamaicans.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's
They're trying to embrace hip hop, R&B, and all that as their own, but it's not.
Right.
And you can't export hip hop and Jamaica and R&B from Jamaica.
Right.
It will not be embraced in America.
Right. It's like trying to. it's like Japanese people trying to sell you an American made car. You know, you like,
that's
bro,
a perfect analogy.
I'll just get the American made car from right here. You know what I'm saying? I go to Japan to get a Japanese made and engineered car.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? It's just like when I go to the resort in Jamaica, right? Like I go to Jamaica. I've been to Jamaica a lot of times, but like the few times I have gone on a resort, it's like you go to a resort in Jamaica, there's a Japanese restaurant, Italian restaurant, pizza restaurant, hot dogs. You could get hamburgers. You could get French fries, but I can't get ackee and saltfish.
That's a good point.
I can't get jerk chicken.
Let's ask them why. Why is that?
You know what I'm saying?
Why is that?
I'm in Jamaica. I don't want to eat pizza in Jamaica. You know what I'm saying? I want Jamaican food.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing that goes with music and culture. I think one of Jamaica's biggest exports is culture. And until like even like the government, like I go to Australia. I go to Dubai. I go to everywhere. I go to South Africa, Botswana. I see people embracing reggae, not just reggae music, but like Jamaican culture. Right. They call themselves Rastas and everything.
Yes.
But then like you go to Jamaica, the
government don't accept.
The government doesn't even recognize Rastafarism like as a religion.
You're right.
You see what I'm saying?
And I'm wondering why. Why is that? I don't get it.
But until Jamaica learns how to monetize and accept the culture that they're exporting, it's never gonna. Because it's just like I've been on radio for how long? Almost every Jamaican artist doesn't like it when I introduce them as a dancehall artist or a reggae artist.
That is true.
They don't like that. They're like, don't put me in a box. I'm not a dancehall artist. Just say I'm an artist. Don't say I'm a reggae artist. But the problem with that is when this white band comes and they win a Grammy as a reggae artist,
then you have a problem.
You see what I'm saying? You know,
good point.
You see what I'm saying?
Good point.
So it's like it'll never improve until
the powers that be has to embrace it
Right.
and have to accept it before it gets improved. And I don't think that's ever going to happen. At least not in my lifetime.
You don't think so?
Nah,
but even the artists too. The artists have to have a different approach. I think
That is true.
You
The
know?
artists them have a hustle mentality.
Right.
You know, and that's not going to change.
Yeah, I mean
That's the sad
because Jamaica is no different than any other black country anywhere around the world.
Sure.
They deprive us of resources and money, so it's like when you finally do get a chance to get it. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. That's the other side of the coin.
Right.
You're
know,
right.
but somebody's gonna have to take the stand and be like, nah,
it's gonna be tough for
I'm
somebody to do
Jamaican.
that. Yeah.
I'm a dancehall artist.
Yeah.
I'm a reggae artist.
Yeah.
And this is my sound. You know what I mean?
That's a whole nother debate right there, Cash.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother debate. Man. Wow.
That's just me from the outside looking in. You know what I'm saying?
And I agree with you, but that's a whole other debate. You're a producer.
Yes.
Radio personality.
Yes.
Promoter, of course, now.
Yes.
DJ.
Yes.
Which one of those hats fits you more comfortable?
It depends on how I feel. I'm a real artist in that sense. It depends where my artistry is at the moment. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I'm more of a producer. Sometimes I'm more of a DJ.
Gotcha.
Sometimes I'm more of a curator. I don't like to call myself a promoter. You know what I mean? I'm a curator. You know what I'm saying, Rico? You know what I'm saying?
I like that.
So sometimes I'm more of a curator. Sometimes it depends. Like I don't like as artists. That's what I feel like people should say. Don't just put me in one box. You're an artist, then create. I just like to create. So whatever I'm creating at the moment, that's what I am.
What you feel.
That's what hat suits me the best at the moment. You know what I mean?
Okay. Bamba Tuesdays, of course, it's here in Atlanta. Do you plan to take that brand anyplace else in the world?
Yes. So Bamba's about to go on the road, like on a little tour, a 5-city tour.
Okay.
Then, after we get that down pack, we have some investors that really love what I'm doing, and they want to make it into a festival.
Gotcha.
So it'll start touring, and it'll be coming to a city near you, and then it'll become a festival. Yeah.
Okay. Now I see you're a hype man for a couple of things. So you had a rum or something like that, sneakers. What are you promoting? What are you endorsing?
Well, like right now, nothing right now,
Okay.
nothing right now. But I mean, the cognac I was endorsing was 50 cents cognac. Like he called me when the pandemic started, and he was just like, "Yo, I want you to get on board with this." And I was like, 50, I don't really drink like that. But he was like, yeah, but you have a lot of influence and people will listen to you. And I think this fits well with the party atmosphere that you create.
Right.
So, and then he was like, just how much you want? And I just said the craziest number I could think of, and he was like, "Cool, stay on the phone
Really?
right now. I'm a zealot to you right now." He wired me.
does that?
He wired me that money while we was on the phone, bro. Like,
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? So, and he was just like, then he had his people call me back like 10 minutes later and was like, "Yo, 50 said we know you can't go out. You know, all the clubs are closed. You can't go out and make no money. If you need money to pay your mortgage aside from what we just sent you, 50 said let him know." And so at that point, I was like, wow, like this guy's a great leader. He's a great businessman. Wow. So it was like, I felt like I had to champion that for him. You know what I'm saying?
How long was that campaign for?
I did that campaign for about 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 years.
Long time.
Yeah.
Long time.
Because most campaigns, alcohol campaigns last about 6 months, if
2
that.
months, 3 months, yeah.
So 3 years.
3 years.
Yeah,
Would you ever endorse anything else again that you believe in?
Yeah, I think I believe. For me, I had to believe in the people pushing it more, I think.
Gotcha,
You know what I mean?
gotcha.
Either that or what they're doing fits what I'm doing really well. So one of the two has to happen. You know what I mean?
One thing I will say about you that you haven't gone Hollywood. Was that a conscious effort for you to say, let me just stay grounded?
I think that's just who I am. You know what I'm saying? I just think that's who I am.
Gotcha.
You know? I'm a Brooklyn boy through and through. You know what I mean? So I think that's just who I am. Like I could never face people from my neighborhood.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
No, I commend you for that because we know a lot of folks.
Some people will say otherwise, though.
Really?
Yeah, of course. You know you're gonna have people that say otherwise, but to be fair, those are the people that don't really know me.
No, you got
You know what I'm saying?
And your number hasn't changed in all these years.
Yeah, I don't change my number, and I answer.
That's a good point. You answer. Some people have a number they don't answer it.
Yeah, I answer.
Wow.
I text back.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Wow. I'm going to talk about something that the hood is talking about,
Okay.
and this is the Red Bull clash.
Uh huh.
I heard a lot of
I think
different.
that'll last forever, man.
I heard a lot of stories, man. And you notice I never reached out to you and asked you nothing.
Yeah.
Because I know you.
Right.
And I know where your heart is at.
Right.
But what was your thinking, going into that event, and what were you thinking coming out of it?
You know, this is my actual first sit down to explain it. So I'm gonna explain the whole thing from the beginning to the end. So like, and it's funny you say that, right? Because the people who are talking about it don't know me.
Facts.
You know
That is
what I'm
true.
saying?
That is true.
So that's why you don't hear me saying anything about it, because like you don't even know me. Like you weren't there. You know nothing.
Right.
So the clash comes about. It's a huge opportunity.
Right.
Huge.
This was your first time being involved in that?
No.
I
was actually involved in 2017 with Mike Will's team. But it wasn't my team. I was just
Gotcha.
on the team helping him.
Gotcha.
I was like a consultant, if you will.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So I've been here before. I understand how huge this is. And I understand.
Huge.
Yeah.
It has make and break careers.
What? It has. And like.
Puffy, perfect example. DJ Puffy from Barbados.
Perfect example. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? I think his was like more of it was a spin-off of the Clash. It was more like a DJ battle thing.
It was a DJ battle.
But it's basically same thing. You know what I'm
Correct.
saying? It's the same concept almost, except one's based around a team and one's based around an individual.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Correct.
But yes, it is huge.
Yep.
Huge.
Yep.
Huge.
Yep.
Huge opportunity.
Yep.
So people who just work on costumes or style, that changes. It changes their life. You know what I mean? People who did the sound for it changes their life.
They get to put it on their resume.
People who voiced dubs for it changes their life. You know what I mean?
Facts.
So when it came in, I think we were all just like, wow, this is crazy, you know? So it started off very friendly because we're all friends, you know what I mean? And I intended to keep it that way, you know? So but as we're gearing up, we're getting ready, we're close. We're days, I want to say days away from the Clash. Like the Clash was on a Saturday. This is like maybe Thursday, right? I get a call. This person shall remain anonymous. As they get a call, they say, "Yo, I'm very happy for you. I'm very proud of you. Everything you're doing, blah, 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 blah." But I just spoke with a couple of guys that play Rum Punch or play this, that, and the third. You know, they're not angry. They just wish they would have been a part of the whole experience because it's a huge experience.
Right.
So at the time, I was confused because I just assumed that
They were all involved.
right,
At some point. In some capacity.
right,
Got it.
because everybody knows Nino and I shell Rum Punch, and
Right.
everybody knows we're like a fan favorite. You know, us together.
Right.
So the reason why I didn't ask him to come juggle for me is because I assumed. You see what I'm saying?
Got it.
So I was like, nah, this can't be true. You know what I mean? Okay, it's a clash. You know, I'm thinking, okay, like, yeah, maybe they're gonna draw for the bigger names, but these people are still on the team. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking this person's giving me bad information. I don't know if this is like a tactic to, you know, so
to get into your head.
Right. So the first thing I do is start calling these people, and they're like, nah, I'm not a part of it. So I'm like, damn. So I call this. All right, let me call you back. I'll call this person. So you're not a part of it in any capacity? No. Nothing whatsoever. No. Call a person. Yo, you part of it? No. So I said, damn. And like, these guys genuinely sounded disappointed. Like, they weren't angry. They were like, yo, it would have been dope to be a part of that, because
just to at least be mentioned.
Because we know what this does for people's career.
Right.
So my thought process was, all right, me putting Atlanta first. Because if you peep all my parties, I don't fly in sounds. I don't fly in selectors. It's very rare. Maybe one party I've ever thrown where I'm like flying in people like that when it comes to sound system culture and the dance hall culture. I don't really, I believe I'm home team all the way. So I said, how do y'all feel about me putting y'all on the squad? Now, y'all have to understand, and this is why nobody involved ever talked bad about me, because I said this. The rounds are only 8 minutes. So, mind you, we've been preparing for this for a year.
Oh.
We've known about the Red Bull Culture Clash for a year.
Okay.
So me and my team been preparing this for a year. Shout out Pee Wee, shout out Polish. We've been preparing for this for a year. So you know how a clash stay. We voiced on top of voice, dubs on top of dubs. We had counteractions for this because, you know, we're finding out information. Okay, they cut this. Okay, we're going to play this if they cut that.
Gotcha.
We're going to do this. If they do this, we're going to do this. So, you know, a clash is not like a regular dance. You can't come in last minute and be like, we have a real strategy. And our strategy was Pee Wee, who won before in Atlanta, you know, from Pretty Posse, legend, another sound I grew up listening to and watching. So he's
and a great manager now.
And a great manager.
Clean him.
So our whole strategy was, we're gonna almost do the opposite of what they're doing. Like, because if you see like their whole squad, Trooper, Maton, they were like, yo, cash out my team on them. We was like, we're gonna take the opposite approach.
Gotcha.
We're not gonna do that because we know on the grand scheme of things, the giant or the broader audience wouldn't understand that. You understand? So it's like, okay, we also know this. Everybody they have, one of like the main people that have their specialty and their strength is speaking. So they're all gonna try to fight for this moment. They're all gonna try to speak on top of each other. Pause. So our thing is, let's keep it clean and not confusing. So we're gonna do it. If you watch the class, I did just that. They had 50 people on stage. I had 0 people on stage. This was the plan from a year ago. You see what I'm saying? So 2 or 3 nights before, we have 8 minutes. Some of the rounds we have to play a certain amount of dubs. We have performances. We have strategies. So it's impossible to add another 8 more people to what you're doing. You see what I'm saying? So I explained that to them. Like, so, but what we came up with, I believe it was Ash that was like, yo, if you could come up with a way where you involve one of us and that kind of represents all of us, then that would kind of make the sense, because I understand you only got 8 minutes. There's no way. So that's what I did. So the first round, I made Nino juggle the entire round. The first round. So that was the compromise. Like, okay, that one person representing the group. Because them putting on the team, of course I'm going to egg it on and make it seem bigger than what it is, because to the public, because like, I stole your team. It's going to make, because it's a clash. It's wrestling. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
So the public, well, not even the public, the general public, just certain bad mind hating people was just seeing that and was just like, oh, you see what Cash did, not knowing I had this conversation with the people. So it was a way for them to have that relationship, because some of them still now have a relationship with Red Bull. See what I'm saying? Okay. They were on the official Red Bull flyer. Because one thing I would say about that event, as big as it is, nobody ever remembers who actually wins, but everybody remembers who is in it and what they did, which is why people after the event, I didn't even win it, and people months later still talking about me. You know what I'm saying? True. So there was no bad mind. If anything, it was the opposite. You know what I'm saying?
But you got a lot of flack. You got a lot of rebuttal for not letting, because certain selectors say, I bought my parents, I bought this, I bought that, and they didn't let me. So I thought there was a conversation prior to that about them being a part of the event, going on the stage and doing.
Everybody knew to what capacity they would be involved in before the event started.
Wow.
Everybody knew.
Wow.
Everybody knew. But to me, it was like, y'all could come get the shine if you want. You could come get the notoriety. Because there's a lot of things that lead up, even 2-3 days before, that lead up to that can change a DJ's life. The little press suite they have for us with the bags and the gifts bags. You're literally rubbing elbows with the people who make these decisions at Red Bull. These people now know your name. When I call them and say, hey, I want to add these people to the flyer, they're like, why? Oh, because of this, and this. They're going back and they're looking at the IG. They're doing. Now these people know who you are.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Did you ever address it with some of the people that I guess you say you didn't address it, it's your first public one, but privately, did you address it with some of the folks who was kind of bashing you?
Nah, I don't see why, because who are they? Most of these people I don't even know. You know what I'm saying? You might know them, but I'm not on the scene like that. I don't know them. You know what I'm saying? I don't know them, and I don't really care to know them.
And you didn't feel a need to go public until now. And of course, I asked you about it.
Only reason why I'm talking about now, you know what I mean? Other than that, I don't really care to talk about it, because who are they? Like, I don't need to prove nothing to them. I know what I did. You know what I'm saying? I gave certain people a look, because, and the crazy thing is, the thing that kills me is the hypocrisy of it all. Yeah. Like, I don't want to throw nobody from Rum Punch under the bus or nothing like that, because I think they're an awesome team. I think they're a group of amazing guys, right? But how can you be mad at me for not using a group of people when the team that they were on didn't use them? Right. But you voting for that team,
I couldn't understand why they wouldn't use them. I guess I could and I couldn't. They're holding on your brand every week. They're representing your brand every week. Right. On the other hand,
some may say they helped build that part.
Some may say that, and they may be right. But I understand the fact from the Rum Punch standpoint, because they want a look. They want an international look. And they may say, well, these guys are not quote unquote clash guys. Right. And obviously they're going in it to win. So I understand both sides. However, by the same token, you still need to give your home team that look.
There's guys that play for me every week at Bomba. They didn't touch the turntables, but they were on the team. See what I'm saying? They were on my team. They went to all the same press conferences. They had all the same looks. Their name was on the official Red Bull flyer that they can add to their resume now. They were still on my team though.
Wow. Would you do it again?
I don't know, to be honest. I'm on the fence.
Why? Because of this whole backlash?
Hell no.
I just want to make it clear.
Let me tell you, these people may think they like when I tell you, when it was like, I guess the world was on fire outside, because I was literally at home like this. Like, I don't care. I don't, excuse my language, but I don't give two shits about these people. Like, to me, in my eyes, they're nobodies. To me, they're not big. They're not big DJs. They're not big promoters. They're not big. So that's what your job is to do. Talk about the big guys like me. You know what I mean? I've been in the barbershop talking about clashes and this and that. That doesn't mean my opinion means anything. I'm just a guy that you're a spectator, bro. You're a little guy. You're supposed to talk about the big guys. You know what I'm saying? So that doesn't bother me one iota. Like, I've been popping and making money for a long time. So I'm used to people putting in their 2 cents about what I need to do, what I didn't do, and Ray. You know what I mean? So, but the reason why I'm on the fence and not doing it, because it takes a lot of time.
I didn't realize that you prepared for a year.
Yeah.
I thought it was just a couple of weeks, maybe.
No,
a year.
A year. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You want me to change up my whole year strategy 2 days before? Yeah. It's impossible. For 8 minutes, mind you. Some of those 8-minute rounds, I had 2 performances. You see what I'm saying? And by the rules, I still have to play in a certain amount of dubs. And we don't know. It's a clash. We don't know what dubs we're going to play in what round, because that all depends on where everybody else plays. So there's no way I can have you come in. You haven't been with us for the year. You don't even know what we voiced.
Yeah, you're right.
There's no way.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying?
And now I fully understand, because I heard the other side of the story, and I heard the people bashing and saying whatever. But again, I deliberately did not reach out, because I wanted to. I didn't plan on action about it in any interview. I just thought about it the other day. I was like, I haven't had KASH in a minute. He was the first guest. Let me have him back. Right. But at some point, I would have seen you privately and say, yo, KASH, what really happened? Right. It's just that we're doing it here.
Because I could have said, fuck everybody. This is my shit. I'm not putting y'all on a flyer.
Right.
I was on the flyer by myself. I didn't have to share that flyer with nobody. You know what I'm saying?
True.
I could have been like, yo, it would have created a better story to say Cash went against legends by himself.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
That would have created a better storyline. If I was really out for self, I would have been like, nah. You know what I mean? I'm not putting nobody else on that flyer. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. What's next for Cash?
I think what's next is like I said, I'm focusing on expanding Bamba and turning Bamba into a festival, turning Bamba into a traveling show. You know what I'm saying? And pushing out more music because I've been dropping more I'm a piano style music, and it's been very well received. So I think that's what my focus is.
Were you at with the debate of dancehall versus I'm a piano / Afrobeat? Because the folks are saying Afrobeat has taken over. Well, some folks are saying Afrobeat has taken over the space that dancehall occupied.
Yeah, I'd agree.
You agree?
I agree. Like traveling the world. All right, so like dancehall used to be the universal international sound.
Right.
Like when I played a party in Australia and the party was an international party, that really meant it was a dancehall party. Really.
Got it.
Dancehall used to be the international music, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But now that means Afrobeat, reggaeton, I'm a piano.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm going, okay, for example, Middle East. When I first went 2017 for the first party, my set was 98% dancehall. That's all they cared to really hear. 98%, 95% dancehall, 5% reggae. Mm-hmm. They really cared about dancehall. Fast forward to now, I go there. You don't hear almost any of the DJs playing. They'll play it, but it's 90. I'd say 80% of their set is Afrobeat, and I'm a piano. And then they'll sprinkle maybe 5 to 10% dancehall, and it's old dancehall.
90s
and
early
2000s. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I travel and I see it. Like I see it.
So what about the latest, the newer artists in dancehall? Do they get played internationally? Places you go?
Yes and no, but like when the DJ typically plays it, it's because he just likes it. Like I don't see no forward. Like the crowd ain't moving. Versus when they hear whoa whoa whoa, then they go crazy. The girls are putting down their drinks and they're running. Or if they hear Get Busy or Showtime rhythm, then they're putting down their drinks and they're running out. But
that's incredible.
It's very rare I see them play a new artist where it's like,
and what's going crazy? Is it the marketing? What causes that?
I think it's just the sound. Like I said before, I said this in another podcast. Like dancehall used to have a very distinct sound. Mm-hmm. Now, right now, if I take one of Skilly Bang's, and I just take the version, and I just take the instrumental, and you didn't know Skilly was on, I played it for somebody, and I play him that, and I play him another drill beat, and I say, which one's a dancehall beat? Do you think they'll be able to tell the difference?
Yeah, you're right, they won't.
they won't. You know what I'm saying? They won't. If I take him speaking the patois and the lingo off, you wouldn't be able to tell. Yeah. A drill artist might hear that and be like, yeah, let me get that beat. Before, if I play you a beat and then went, oh yeah, that's a dancehall beat. Now, if I play it for an artist, the same beats they're on, I can play for a hip hop artist easily. So I think, and that tempo is super slow. And I think people are at the point now, after all that we just went through a couple years ago, I think people want to dance, people want to have fun, people want to party. It's getting more and more expensive to go out and party. Yeah. People really have to make a conscious decision. Like, if I party this week, am I going to be able to pay bills or this, that, and the third? You know what I'm saying? Especially in Atlanta. Atlanta won 100 to park, 100 you go to certain places. You know what I'm saying?
So talk about that.
Yeah, so it's like, if I go out, I spend this money, I want to have fun. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I think that tempo is just too slow for people to dance to, people to have fun to. So versus I'm a piano or Afrobeat, it's fun music. So I think that's what it is. You go to these places, especially you in Dubai, you want to have fun, bro. You want to dance, you want to have a drink. You know what I'm saying? You in Mexico, you want to have fun. I go to Mexico and I hear Afrobeats playing. You know what I'm saying? The whole party. It's crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's crazy. So I think that's what it is. I think the tempo is just way too slow, and the subject matter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
So Afrobeat's happy music. They talking about partying. They're talking about love. They're talking about their country. You know what I'm saying?
You have a podcast as well. I've seen you interview quite a lot of artists. What was, I would say, you should say, your most interesting interview on your podcast?
Wayne Wonder, hands down.
I would figured you say that.
Wayne Wonder. Yeah. I didn't think, even though me and him are friends, I didn't think he would open up much.
He did. Somebody, I was watching an African guy who does a podcast that I watch, and he referenced your podcast last week.
Wow.
In terms of the rift between Wayne Wonder and Buju,
right?
That he talked about.
Yeah, it went viral. It went viral. Every dancehall blog covered it.
Picked it up
when I dropped it. It went viral.
Yeah, that's huge. That's huge because I kind of knew the story a little bit from Wayne myself, but I didn't expect him to talk about it in public.
Mind you, I had no clue.
Oh, yeah,
I had no clue, and I had no clue when he was sat in that chair. He was going to talk about it. Like, I just assumed everything was all good. Like, I didn't know. Even though him and I are close, I just think that he felt like because we're close, he just felt comfortable, and he just felt like
I was surprised that he opened up about that. Because
me too.
Yeah,
but I think he was just really hurt. You know what I mean? I feel like.
Because he's responsible for Buju's career.
Right.
Literally.
Right. So I think he was just hurt. I think I was a person that he feels comfortable sharing that with. So it was like, when you hurt, you can only keep that hurt in but so long, you know? So I think he was genuinely hurt. I don't think he was angry. I don't think he was just like...
Well, he didn't say it from a space of anger.
Yeah.
When you watch the interview,
it
wasn't from a space of anger. It was, like you said, he's hurt.
Even after, I think he was just really... It was hard for him to even talk about it, like, seriously. Yeah. He even felt like he felt relief because he was like, damn, I finally said it. But at the same time, he was just like, damn, it just makes me relive it, and it just really hurts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Wow. One of your big hits was a hit with DeMarco.
Yes.
Planning on doing any more work with him?
Yes, I want to bring him over to the Amapiano space.
Really?
He's such a talented artist.
He is.
DeMarco, you could put reggaeton, you could put house music, you could put pop music. Whatever you put in front of DeMarco, he's going to kill it. Right. You know what I'm saying? He's just one of those artists. Like, he just knows music, and he knows melodies and cadence so well. All he needs is 5 minutes. So I want to.
He's a genius, actually.
Yeah, he is.
He's a genius.
Like a genius that a lot of people don't give him credit for. Like, he's definitely one of probably top 10 influential producers in the last 10 to 15, 20 years.
Oh, by far.
You know what I mean?
By
like
far.
Insane. And writers.
And writers.
You know what I mean?
Far.
So what I want to do is I want to kind of fuse him with the Amapiano world.
Okay.
And have him on a few Amapiano records.
Okay. So you're going to produce some Amapiano.
Yeah. And have him jump on it. You know what I mean? I remember our last interview, I was playing a bunch of stuff.
And I still haven't heard them.
Well, one of them was with Tory Lanez.
Yeah.
You know. So just like, you know what I mean?
Wow.
So
if somebody wants to work with you, are you open to accepting artists or other producers, collaborations, anything?
1000%. I think we just have to mesh well. Like I just have to feel like it fits with what I'm doing. You know, I don't want to do stuff just for the sake of doing it. I want to do stuff because that's the type of artist I am. If I feel good, if it makes me feel good and I like it and it feels good on my soul, then I'll do it. You know what I mean? I don't care what people say. I don't care how it looks. I don't. You know what I mean? That's the type of stuff that doesn't bother me. If I really enjoy it and it feels good to me, then I'm gonna do it. Yeah.
Is this a lifestyle for you? Like, you envision yourself doing this for the rest of your life?
You mean like DJing and music?
DJing, the whole industry.
Yeah, I think like hip hop and a little bit of dancehall has this. Maybe not so much dancehall, but definitely hip hop is the only place that has that stigma where it's like attached to age. Like when you look at rock and roll, like these bands from 20, 30 years, 40 years ago, they're in their 70s, in their 80s, still touring. And nobody ever says these old men need to quit. Me, I'm a firm believer of like, do what makes you happy. Like I wouldn't recommend somebody, you know, being broke doing this. You know what I'm saying? As long as I can make money doing it and I can feed my family, I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean? Or even if I can't, like if I go and get a regular job, I'm cool with that too. But that doesn't mean I'm gonna stop DJing. I'll do it until I don't want to do it anymore. I feel like everybody should do whatever they love until they don't love it anymore. Whether you make money or you don't. And
Right.
and that's really the definition of passion.
True,
If you're really passionate about this, you're going to do it whether you make money or not. You know what I mean? You become famous or not.
Right.
So I'll do this until I don't want to do it anymore. If that's when I'm 90, that's when I'm 90.
Just one last thing before you go. You and Mixmaster David, of course, we all in the circle, we all friends. You guys are cool. There's no competition between you.
No, absolutely not.
You know, there's people say, oh, they're competing against each other, whatever.
Nah.
I know for a fact that's not the case.
Again, that's the people's job, like to talk about us, like, you know what I'm saying? So I don't ever like take it to heart. I understand, like that's what's gonna happen. It comes with this, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
When you popping and when you've done things a lot of people haven't done, everybody's gonna have an opinion. Everybody's gonna say something. Me and David probably speak for 2-3 hours at a time, once a week on the phone. You know what I'm saying? Dave always like, yo, you know what you should do? You should do this now. You should do that. We constantly do that. Like,
Gotcha.
why on earth would I compete with David? Why on earth? Like,
But you know, folks, man. And I just wanted to address certain things that I've been hearing, you know, walking around. And I don't say anything back to them, but I just listen.
I think people just like to create, you know. I think people would do and say anything to get their name in the conversation.
In the conversation.
You know what I'm saying? Just like the people that are talking about me and Red Bull. These are people you weren't asked. And the people you cheering for didn't ask you, but you, excuse my language, you dick riding them though. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? they didn't call your name to be a part of it.
Right. No,
so,
right.
You know what I mean?
You're
so
right.
they gotta say something to insert themselves in
Into
it
the
because nobody actually wants you in it. So you gotta search yourself. You're not good enough or big enough for people to call your name to be in it. But you feel like you are, so you got to put your 2 cents and put your name in it. So I understand how that works. So it doesn't bother. When I tell you, people sometimes be looking at me like, it's weird that it doesn't bother you. Like when I tell you,
I'm actually shocked that it doesn't.
I'll tell you, this doesn't bother me.
Because of how much
bro.
stuff I heard out on the streets. You know
Bro,
what I'm
it
saying?
doesn't bother. I mean, this is it comes with the territory.
Gotcha.
When you pop in Rico, people gonna talk. You know what I'm saying? It just comes with the territory, man.
Wow. What advice do you have to give to young DJs coming up in the business now?
I would tell young DJs to stop. Don't follow the hype. Because if I would have followed the hype, I would have never. Because when I came here, people were telling me, "Don't be too New York. Don't be too Caribbean." You know what I mean? And that's exactly what got me to the next level. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not naive to be like, the East Side got me to the next level, son. Like the East Side vouched for me so and rooted for me so hard that everybody else had to come and see what was going on. You know, same thing with I'm a Piano Now. Nobody knew what it was. Everybody told me, don't switch. You know, you already doing good in this lane. Don't switch. But I firmly believe this is one of the highlights of my careers because
it is.
You know, I literally put a whole city onto a whole genre. Like, you know what I mean? So, like, I would tell young guys, don't follow the hype. Follow what you like. Follow what you love. Even if nobody's up on it, even if it's not popular, nobody knows about it. That's what you love. That's what it's going to show to other people that, yo, this guy really likes that. And that's what gets you a following. You know, people really buying into what you believe. You know what I mean? So that's what I would tell young guys. Just don't follow the hype. Follow what you love. If what you love happens to be the hype, then cool. You know what I mean? But don't follow the hype.
Right. Where can they follow you? Where can they find you?
At DJ Cash, ATL Cash with a K on everything. You know what I mean?
Cash with a K. There's another Cash in New York too, by the way.
He doesn't matter. Nobody knows him
I
anyway.
just thought I'd mention that. He ain't from Brooklyn.
It doesn't even matter. I own the trademark, by the way, too.
Oh, yeah? DJ Cash trademark?
I own the trademark.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
So he's really a fake.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. Yes, you're right. You're not just kidding. You're right. You know what I'm saying? Yo, let me tell you how insignificant these people be. Like, even when I go to my lawyer and I be like, yo, you know, I wanna serve this person with cease and desist papers. They be like, it doesn't even matter. They don't matter. They're not big enough to take this to a judge. A judge is gonna be like, all right, stop it. They don't have nothing for us to stop. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like, you know.
Wow.
So
you have come across that?
Yeah, I spoke with my lawyer about it. My lawyer was like, bro, he want to call himself Cash, let him. Like, you know what I mean? But what they don't realize is it sucks for them because if you do get bigger, you're gonna have to pay me. I own a trademark. So if you do get bigger and you want to get on a big festival or whatever, you got no power. I can cease and desist the whole festival because that's not me. That's my name. That's my likeness. So I can stop all of that. So if you get big, you get in a movie role today, I can sue the movie production company and be like, you can't put out that. I own the rights to that name, and then now you fucked.
I know Mr. Easy, the dancehall artist, is going through a lawsuit now with Mr. Easy, the Afrobeat artist.
Wow. See what I'm saying? Because he didn't trademark it.
Trademark it.
I own my trademark since 2009. Wow. So I've been on, you know what I mean? Maybe longer than that. I owned the trademark. Longer than that, actually. I think 05 or something like that. Yeah, longer than that. Wow. Yeah, I owned the trademark.
My special guest today came full circle. DJ KASH. You know, make sure you subscribe to the channel, YouTube.com/RicoVibes. My brother.
My G.
Appreciate you, man.
My pleasure.
You laid a lot of knowledge on them today.
I mean, gotta teach the people. You know what I'm saying?
We'll catch you next time on another edition of Take 5.
This episode of Take 5 with RicoVibes is brought to you by
It's a reggae evening under the sun. The Forever Giving Thanks 2024 tour at the beautiful Chastain Park Amphitheater, featuring Perez Hammond.
Used to make you rock away.
Plus the Reggae Ambassadors, Third World. Also featuring DJ Mix Master David. Bring your food and drinks for a reggae evening under the sun. Sunday, August 18th at 6:30. Another Sassy Mitchell here and Twilight 2 production.
Down in my soul.